So a bit of an update on where I'm at. I chased up all the legislation and stuff about trying to get this thing back on the road, and it is impossible. Just, even though, hey, I look at it and go, mate, it's a 100% motor car, all I need to do is put a new rear BCM and a park assist module in it, and the thing just goes like this, no codes, and it just, I was driving it up and down my driveway, and it just goes perfectly. So it's a bit of a shame. However, it's going to get donated to the DIY gods. So it's going to be a bit of a project for the next couple of years. What will end up happening to it at the end of that, don't really know, but we'll see how we go. But where we are, obviously most of the cabin's been completely stripped. There's a few electrics, the air conditioning unit and the pedals are in there, the steering column's all gone, etc. I've made a whole load of videos of the entire process, which I'll eventually get around to putting out there, because it's a fair bit of effort to put those together, but we'll get there. I've got plenty of time. With the future for just the cabin here, my plan, I'll pull those pedals out and have a bit of a poke around with those. But the air conditioning unit is something that I'm interested in. Most of that, like the stepper motors and blower motor and final stage resistance, that sort of thing, you can get at, albeit with a little bit of difficulty, with the dashboard all in place. So we'll have a look at how to do all of that. But you'll have to go to this sort of effort to replace the air conditioning evaporator, the heater core and that sort of thing. So I'll pull the whole thing apart, I'll pull it out and have a bit of a poke around and make some videos of that. Over here we have a collection of bits. This is probably about, I don't know, maybe 70% of it. The rest of it's in a shipping container. Of note, the leather does not like the water. Mate, this is the driver's side seat and it's got a bit of a hole here. The passenger seat was just completely toast. When I touched the back here, after being out in the weather, it just disintegrated in my hand. I thought they were made of vinyl, but especially the seat back here, the leather's actually quite thin with a bit of a material backing and it just completely trashed itself. By contrast, the remainder of the bits inside the car handled it pretty well. Anything that's leather struggles because the mold that was on there kind of didn't do it any favours. But the vinyl and the plastics, mate, you scrub them up just with a bit of soap and water and they look like new. I'm kind of amazed. The componentry, all the switches, for example, the PDK selected to the left of the steering wheel there, mate, I pulled all those apart completely, made videos of all of that, and they're really well designed. So you could just pour buckets of water over those and really, you wouldn't do too much damage. Switches, not so much, the electrical stuff. They're designed to actually take a bit of water so they can drain out the back. But that PDK, mate, you can get there with a hose. It's the way it's actually made is really clever. So I'm really impressed with the way the whole thing puts together. It's this beautiful Lego set that just clicks together really, really nicely. Porsche have done a really, really nice job of it. I'm impressed. The workshop manual, whilst it says, hey, do this, there's probably about 5 or 6 steps of how to do that haven't included. So hopefully I'll be able to find a lot of those and pass that on to people to help them out, because, mate, they're a great car, and if we can keep them on the road for years, that'd be a good thing. Now, over here is the dashboard. Mate, that's scrubbed up like new. I'm really impressed. If you gave that to me and said that's a new dashboard, I'd believe you. It was covered in garbage and just a bit of a cleanup, 5 minutes worth, and mate, honestly, it looks like brand new. That there is the big bracket that holds onto the dashboard and to the air conditioning unit, etc. The design here is really modular. You can see the harness is actually connected to it and actually just gets joined to the rest of the car in the spots on the sides here and on the other side over there. So they're relatively simple. Once you've sort of worked out how, they're relatively simple to actually pull out, which is nice. So what's the plan? Hopefully not spend too much time out here. My wife's getting a bit narky with me spending my entire awake life out here pulling this car apart, but I can't help it. I just enjoy the stuff so much. But yeah, that'll do. Until next time.